This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin alongside.
Good morning.
Sir, how are you?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I have returned the use of one nostril update.
You are sounding far better this morning.
Dude, yesterday I couldn't breathe yesterday.
Although, give us some time. I wasn't worried about your first segment yesterday either.
I might sound like a frog, but I feel a whole bunch better on the way up, on the come up. On the show today, Nick Whalen on the National Basketball Association playoffs. Good Lord, we're going to have to talk about what happened last night in that triple header. Will Hill, all of his bets, NFL draft, Major League Baseball, full day, night, Major League Baseball today. Toddy Wishnev. You know what Todd wants to do with baseball today? I'm not sure we can fit this into one segment. Maybe I should invite him for an earlier segment. He wants me to name all 30 not name, but he wants me to give him all 30 MLB teams, and then he has a comment on each.
Wow.
Todd Wishnev, 30 and 15, I believe we're calling it today.
It's going to take more than a segment, I think.
Maybe we call him early. Paul Sporer, also on Major League Baseball. We'll talk NFL draft. Which team will draft Jeremiah Love? I mean, really, beyond Fernando Mendoza at number 1 to the Raiders. What is happening at 2? What is happening at 3? I don't think any of us know.
It's insane.
And I don't think anyone truly knows at this point, more than 24 hours away from the first round of the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, PA tomorrow night. What's going to happen at 2? What's going to happen at 3? We had Todd McShay yesterday.
Yeah.
He says, I think it's David Bailey at 2. All of a sudden, the markets move towards David Bailey again. Bookmaker had David Bailey as a favorite. I'm not sure where Bookmaker is right now. Offshore pillar. Then now Peter Schrager comes out. He's like, well, I think Jeremiah Love might go to Arizona at 3 if they stick there. Which is what Schefter had said. I don't know if these guys really know anything or if they're just spitballing.
So what I do find fascinating is that we've been, for the past couple years, we've questioned, and I think Drew's done a great job with this, right? The accuracy of the information that we're getting, leaking out of teams, and it felt like it was better in years past. But I also question this year of just how tight are these top guys at these positions, right? Edge, offensive line, receiver. We've talked about this for weeks. But yeah, the McShay timeline, it's like every other day. Nope, we're going Reese, go Bailey.
I sent that to Drew and Chris. We have a little exchange, and Drew's immediate comment was, McShay's had a rough cycle. So I don't know. I don't know if it means anything. I have no idea. We'll see. We'll talk about Jeremiah Love because you can bet on where he ends up coming up on the show, and there might be a price you might like to fire on it, depending on who you believe, for God's sakes. So clay court tennis season started a few weeks ago. I could not win a match, but the upside was I was barely playing any. I was like, here's a match today. I'd skip a day. Here's another match. Next day, here's a match. And none of them won, but maybe the idea was the small sample size was bad, so I fired 5. We're in Madrid now. Now we're in the true run-up to the French Open. Madrid, Rome, Paris. Madrid had 5 picks on the overnight for subscribers, VSiN.com/picks. We're 3-0 out of the gate this morning. Vit Koperva beat Zhizhen Zhang in straights. Damir Dzumhur beat Mattia Bellucci in straights. Both of them as short dogs. And then Alexandra Ayala, our girl, the Filipina sensation, she takes down Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. You knew that.
I mean, anytime you can get Damir Dzumhur at a plus price, you got to fire.
You really should not shirk that opportunity. So we have 2 more, one on the men's side, one on the ladies' side. They're all in Madrid, Spain. Have you ever been to Madrid, by the way?
No, I've not.
Oh, it's lovely. In the Plaza Mayor, in the Plaza. Just what the hell's this place for? Jaime Faria, Portuguese, big dog against Uber Urkats. Uber Urkats is the much more accomplished player, but Faria is a clay court guy. Urkats not so much, mitigates his serve. Jaime Faria, plus 194, the Portuguese from Portugal. We will be on him here. That's about a half hour. And then later on the ladies' side, I believe you pronounce that Sinja Kraus versus Karolina Pliskova, the veteran, going with Kraus at plus 140. So those are the 2 remaining tennis plays if you want to delve. If you believe that the volume is all we've been lacking, we shall see.
Forget where Madrid ranked on Chris Felica's cities in Spain power rankings.
Cities in Spain?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's mid. I mean, Spain. Costa del Sol, North, Barcelona.
He had a lot of opinions on that one day.
Oh,
remember that?
Is
Yeah.
it Spain breakdown?
He did a full Spain breakdown, yep.
All right, NBA. Wow. Do I owe an apology to the first round of the NBA?
Yeah.
Is there a phone
Dog's
number for the
bargain.
first round of the NBA? Is there a toll-free 800 phone call? I can apologize to them. Sixers beat the Celtics 111-97, even up that best-of-7 first-round series at one game apiece. Celtics led by as many as 13 in the first quarter, 26-13. You thought this was ho-hum, here we go again. But the Sixers closed the first on a 12-2 run to cut it to 28-25 at the end of the first quarter. Celtics would go back up 8, 33-25, and then it was all Sixers from that point forward. They dominated the rest of the way towards halftime, 37-21, to take a 8-point, 62-54 lead into the half. Sixers led by as many as 13. Celtics would get within 3 with the ball at 77-74 Philly. But by the end of the third quarter, it was back up to 7, 84-77. And then the fourth, the Celtics would get within 2 early, 84-82 and 91-89. Surely the Celtics are going to win this, right? They could never get over the hump from their Sixers with a crucial 11-0 run to go up 102-89 with just over 4 minutes to go. And it was Katie bar the door. Only got worse from there, building the lead to as many as 16. They win it 111-97. VJ Edgecombe, 30-10. And Tyrese Maxey hitting all the big shots, 29 points, 9 assists. What was the story in Game 1? The horrible three-point shooting from the Sixers?
Yep.
Well, the Celtics did. Remember when they were losing to the Heat back a couple years ago in the playoffs, and we were always like, well, if you're going to shoot 53s and you're going to only make a few of them.
Celtics basketball, baby.
Celtics basketball. Last night, 13 of 50 from behind the arc. 26% on the button. Nope. Series tied up at 1 apiece. We're going back to Philly with the Sixers having home court. By the way, Edgecombe now surpassing Magic Johnson as the youngest player in NBA playoff history to have at least 30 points and 10 boards in a playoff game. As Timmy Goodtimes, Tim Bontemps says, not bad.
Not bad at all. No, he was awesome last night. It really was. Got about in the mid-20s where I kind of had both games going on, right? And I'm like, wow, I didn't realize VJ Edgecombe had gotten up to that many points already. It was texted JVT and Zach. Great game by him. Great bounce back by Tyrese Maxey. I mean, look, if the Sixers are going to have any chance in this series, he has to be one of the best players, if not the best players on the court at all times. So good bounce back by him. I'd really hate to, make too little of this, Gil, but it's Celtics basketball, right?
Yeah.
They shoot 26% from 3 on 53-point attempts, and the Sixers bounce back after a poor shooting Game 1. They shoot 49% from 3 on 39 attempts.
Well, let's see if you can make something of this. Blazers beat the Spurs to even up that best-of-7 Western Conference first-round series at 1 game apiece. They beat them 106-103. In a game where the headline was all about Victor. Blazers went up 22-9. Spurs 19-5 run to close the first quarter. Everything's okay. Spurs lead after 1, 28-27. But second quarter, early, 34-32 Blazers, just under the 9-minute mark. Wemby, out of control, I would say, face plants, lands on his jaw. How he didn't lose teeth, I have no idea.
I know.
Concussion protocol ruled out the rest of the way, would not return. Blazers built a 6-point lead in that quarter. Spurs turned it around, got up by 5 at one point in the second quarter. It was tied at the half, 57 apiece. Spurs led after 3, 80-79. And then a 13-0 run for the Spurs to start the fourth quarter, 15-0 in all, to go up 93-79 and then 95-82. You're like, they may cover, even without Victor.
Mm-hmm.
But an 8-0 Blazers run to cut it to 95-90. Spurs would get it back to 99-90, but Blazers would chip away from there. 101-97 San Antonio with under 3 minutes to play. Scoot, who was unbelievable, game of his life in the NBA. Scoot Henderson with a 3, 101-100 San Antonio after Spurs miss. Robert Williams from 3, air ball right to Drew. He lays it in, 102-101. Blazers with 2 minutes left. Spurs go cold then. 3 shots, 1 possession. Fox, 26-footer, no good. Fox, 8-footer, no good. Castle, 15-footer, no good. Eventually, shot clock violation, less than a minute now. Drew misses underneath, no whistle. Spurs ball down 1. Vassell from 25, no good. Rebound Blazers with some discrepancy. Game clock, shot clock. Denny drives, Euro step, Hezzy, alley-oop to Williams, and 1. 104-101, Blazers, 12 seconds left. Williams misses the free throw, though. Timeout San Antonio. So you know what they're going to do, right? You're up 3. You going to foul? Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. Spurs ball down 3. Drew fouls Vassell to prevent the 3. Hits both, 107-106. 10 seconds left to Monty Camaro. Tumani Camaro, thank you, fouled with 5.6 to go, hits both, 3-point game. So the Spurs have to draw up a play where you don't get fouled on the three. Mitch Johnson does just that. It's the old inbounds to Vassell for what in effect is a turnaround three from the corner. Hits a lot of rim, but does not fall. Ball game. Blazers win it. They outscored the Spurs 16-4 the last 5 minutes of this game. The Spurs 1 of 12 from the field the last 640. Basketball is kind of simple. You don't put the ball in the basket, you're going to lose down the stretch like that. 1 of 12. In the last 640. Scoot with 31. Wembanyama ends up with 11 minutes played. He is in concussion protocol. You need at least 48 hours. The next game is Friday, so there is enough hours, but we shall see if he's available for Game 3 back in Portland, where, again, the Blazers now have home court, in addition to Wemby's injury, by the way, or Wembanyama's concussion. Harrison Barnes' wrist.
Yep.
Dylan Harper aggravated a thumb injury. Let's not forget about those two things either. And Wembanyama, when he's on the court versus when he's off, the Spurs were 50-14 with him, 12-6 without him. Opponent points per game, 110 with him, 118 without. These courtesy of ESPN, stats and information. Opponent field goal percentage, 44% with him on the court, 49% off. And the difference in points, plus 9.8 with him on the court, plus 3.2 with him out.
Yeah, man, big. We should keep talking about this. Kevin O'Connor tweeting last night. I mean, this is kind of NBA a little bit different from NFL if you're not familiar with the concussion stuff, but average NBA recovery time for concussion, 7 to 10 days. We have the minimum on the 48 hours. This is really up in the air.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I hope he'll be back for Game 3. We'll see. Game 3 definitely questionable for Victor Wembanyama. Coming back, and that other game, oh boy, next.
Get VSiN Pro for just $9.99 for your first 30 days and start betting with the edge serious bettors rely on every day. Access expert picks, real-time odds, and actionable insights across every major sport. Plus, get player prop projections powered by Opta AI, daily picks delivered straight to your inbox, and betting guides for every major sporting event. Visit VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, plenty of NFL draft. Evan Silva with his best bets. Sean Green to talk props and what he's hearing. Doug Kazarian, NFL draft, and also NBA best bet series prices. And Matt Humans with his best bets for the upcoming weekend. And can Jeff Seeley make it 2 in a row with golf? Follow the Money 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM Channel 158. Check out the website for all the betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Want to bet smarter? Start with Smarter Insights. Right now, you can check out Matt Humans' mock draft, Greg Peterson's MLB best bets, and updated Steve Makinen bullpen betting systems. And later today, you can check out Zach Cohen's NBA playoff best bets, Jonathan Davis's NHL playoff picks and props, and Wes Reynolds' Zurich Classic preview. The Zurich Classic. Get VSiN Pro access through August 1st with the spring special for only $59. Find all of our subscription options at vsin.com/subscribe. We get tweets beating the book. I just want to read a couple here. This is Norm in Vegas who says, so no special edition of Fezzik Friday to discuss the Caesarification of the soon-to-be formerly great Westgate Superbook. First of all, Crack will be here tomorrow. We'll talk about that with Crack.
Shocking yesterday.
And Fezzik will be here on Friday, and we will talk to Fezzik about it as well. What of course he's referring to is that Caesars is going to take over operations at the Westgate Las Vegas Sportsbook. Still going to be referred to as the Westgate, still going to be referred to as the Superbook. Listen, regardless of any personal history, right? It's sad for the people who work there, who are really good at their jobs, right? Jeff Sherman leaping to mind is like someone who's really good at his job. And so you hope that you hope that if they don't stay there, that they land on their feet. I think everybody hopes that about them. The real thing beyond that is what it does now to Vegas, one less different set of lines. So we are down to, we counted this yesterday, I think we're down to 9. Now, in the early 90s, it was like 20 plus, and I think it was 7 alone downtown, Crack told me this morning. 7 alone downtown, it was like 20, because everything was a mom and pop shop. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to run through it.
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't really double-check this yesterday when you texted this.
BetMGM, Caesars Will Hill, that's 2. Stations is local, 3, okay. Circa, obviously, where we broadcast from, 4. 5 is Boyd, which is our FanDuel knockoff here, as we like to call it. 6, my Mishpucha at the South Point, Chrissy Andrews. Thank God for the South Point. 7, the Golden Nugget. They do their independent, right? 8 is Resorts World, where I have my Mason Miller 40-1, for instance. And number 9 is Boomers. That's it. I don't think I left out anything.
I think that's everybody.
We will get Hard Rock by the end of 2027.
Yeah.
But right now it's 9.
Who's running Fountain Blues Sportsbook? I believe that changed recently.
Oh, it's not Stations anymore?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's something.
But I could be wrong.
Well, there you go. So that's really, a requiem for the Westgate Superbook, which of course was a pillar here in Las Vegas for so many years. We'll see how it goes under new management. Kevin, he says with a shake of the head, Kevin Ryan, MVP voters, take note of what the Spurs look like without Wemby. I think OKC could survive better without SGA. The award is called Most Valuable Player. Yeah, but on the other hand, they were up 14 in the fourth yesterday, Kevin Ryan. I mean, let's not sort of gloss over that.
And you ran through the numbers where this team was they still looked really damn good in the regular season without Victor Wembanyama.
That's right.
Now, do I think this is where we've been kind of dismissive of at least you and I personally, of the youth catching up with San Antonio, because I think it's silly to kind of say that about Victor Wembanyama. Okay, take him out of there. Am I a little bit more concerned about that? I think you saw a little bit of that in the close of the game last night.
Well, are you going to get 31 from Scoot again?
No. Yeah. I mean, Scoot's played the 2 best games of his career back-to-back. It's kind of incredible. I think what's interesting, though, is on the other side of the ball, we talked about Harrison Barnes, Dylan Harper. These guys are getting thin. It's 3 guys out. And now when you talk about matchups in this series, what they can do with perimeter defenders and Donovan Clingan, it really changes things with no Wembanyama in there because they have the bodies that throw at Fox.
If we have no Wembanyama. We don't know that for sure
yet. If we don't have
And if we don't, though, but that is Denny Avdia, who I think was still hampered by the back yesterday, still made that great pass to Williams at the end. That just becomes a different opponent for him. He could just drive without impunity.
Right, the ability to get the rim for him. I'm with you, though. I'm still a little questionable because he was in foul trouble and
he was in foul trouble.
So it was like really hard. Like, I know we said it before the game. We
never really got his rhythm yesterday.
Yeah, we were worried about it before the game. I still don't know coming out of the game if I know any better because of the foul trouble.
So that goes to 1-1 with the Wembanyama injury, specter looming. Mentioned, of course, the Sixers and the Celtics go to 1-1 in the 2-7 series out east. And then we got to talk about the game that we got completely wrong, me and you, Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Completely wrong. What kind of no good, no account outfit is this Houston Rockets team? The Lakers beat the Rockets 101-94 to take a 2-0 lead in that 4-5 series out west. That's the series that's 2-0 in favor of the Lakers. It was 26-24 Houston, and then a 15-0 run for the Lakers. They led by as many as 15, 49-34 in the first half. Rockets then went on a 14-0 run of their own to cut it to 49-48. It would be 54-51 Lakers at the half. Houston took a 55-54 lead early in the third, but the Lakers regained the lead immediately, led by as many as 9 in the third, led by 7 going into the fourth. Then they led by 10. Rockets got as close as 3, but the Lakers won it by 7, 101-94. This game felt like you were watching a game in like syrup, where the Rockets were always 7 points down. Even though I mentioned they were one time it was 10 and one time it was 3, it just felt like they were down 7 points the whole way through. It was a slog. KD did play for the Rockets. Still no Luka and no Austin Reeves for the Lakers, and they're still up 2-0 on this Rockets outfit. KD played. He scored 23 points, but he had 9 turnovers, and I don't usually say anything out loud while I'm alone watching an NBA game, but there was at least a few times where I'm like, what is KD doing? Can he not pass out of a double team ever? God, was he bad.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
I mean, 20 first half points, 3 in the second half, and 9 turnovers.
9 turnovers. Just bad turnovers, too.
I put this as much on Ime, and there's look, JJ Redick. I'm not the biggest fan of. There have been multiple times though in his young coaching career when he has coached circles around another quality coach, and Ime Udoka, who we're seemingly rushing to give a Coach of the Year award to every year. I think this has been brutal the first 2 games. I mean, Kevin Durant looked like he was shocked to see double teams coming. They have no offense. Of course you're going to throw double teams at him.
Can someone come to the ball? Can Durant throw a better pass? He threw so many risky passes. It was just, by the way, LeBron, 28, 8, and 7. Good God, can he still play? 28, 8, and 7. Marcus Smart, 25 with 8 assists and 5 steals. And Luke Kennard, a cool 23.
I mean, this is this is 2 games in a row you're getting this out of Smart and Kennard. Like they are playing big time minutes, scoring. I mean, Marcus Smart, you don't expect to score like this. 25 points for him. It's incredible. The total, did you see the 2 benches combined to shoot 5 for 33? Yeah. That's what you're getting out of both these benches. Tari Eason with 4 of those.
The adjusted series, is this the correct adjusted series price?
Yep.
Is that correct? The Rockets are only plus 115, and I should say it the other way. The Lakers are only minus 135 with the possibility of Reeves and Luka. And at this point, the Lakers have to have the attitude, God, this would be great not to even have to use those 2 guys. This series, the Rockets are just, I can't even say enough how bad they were last night. That was awful.
After that Game 1 performance, you did not expect to see this, especially with Kevin Durant back.
You can't lose twice to a Luka-less and Reeves-less Lakers team. You just can't. And they did.
You can't. I would still give advantage Houston here, but it becomes, now that you've got two in pocket already with Reeves and Luka looming, you have no idea what's going to happen with them. It's not really something I'm going to go to the window and bet, but would still lean that way. It's just it's so much to ask this Lakers unit. I mean, it feels like LeBron at the beginning of his career, right? It's just now at the end, he's dragging these guys that don't belong here.
Now LeBron drags the Eastern Conference Cleveland Cavaliers to the title.
And they're getting it done.
Or the finals, I should say. What about tonight's games? We have a doubleheader tonight in the NBA. 2 1-8s. These are the only 2 series that have not played a second game yet. Detroit trying to even up their best of 7, 1-8 in the Eastern Conference with the Magic. They're 9-point favorites. The total's 219. And the Thunder, who are up 1-0 on the Suns. Did you see this spread? 17-point favorites for OKC tonight. The total's 216. 17. 2 touchdowns, 1 enough. Let's add a field goal.
All right, let's start with that one, Gil, because I don't know how you do it, how you handle a 17-point spread in the playoffs.
No.
The Spurs are, the Suns are, yes, not nearly as good of a team as the Oklahoma City Thunder. Breaking news. I'm not rushing to lay 17 with that game. So, yeah, I'll be a stay away. Detroit, I'm getting involved with. I laid points in the first half with them, 4.5, and then threw them in moneyline parlay with the Celtics and the Houston Rockets then the next games. So that's how I'm attacking this. We'll see if the dogs keep barking, because they're getting me so far, Gil. They're getting me so far. But we talked a lot about this Orlando-Detroit yesterday. You're going to have to show this to me again, Orlando. I know you did kind of the stretch of the regular season, a few good games, but, man, that game one was really, really impressive. Show me you can do it again.
Oh, man. Again, apologies to the NBA. I thought most of these series were going to be ridiculous. Apparently not. Apparently not. Nick Whalen on the NBA playoffs. He, of course, the co-host of Prop Points here that follows us next on A Numbers Game with VSiN.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big. We go all night. And here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
How about this for a contest? The Sharps Invitational. Season-long NFL bankroll tournament. Think poker meets football. Poker meets football. Start with 10,000 chips. Put them to work on spreads, totals, parlays, even props. NFL Week 1 through the Super Bowl. Stack your chips, climb the leaderboard. Compete for real money. 3 tiers, 3 champs, 3 prize pools worth playing for. Sign up today at jointhesharps.com. That's jointhesharps.com. We get tweets, beat to the book. Y'all are great, by the way. Best listeners in the game. This is from JB Uncle Bush. Finally, the long national debate is over. SGA has been named Clutch Player of the Year. Mazel tov to everybody who had him Clutch Player of the Year. That was bettable, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nemesis Enforcer.
Heavy favorite for the last month of the season.
That's the one where all you have to do is just check the stats and you know who the clutch player is. Nemesis Enforcer. Wemby was asleep for about 2 seconds. All man needed was a pillow. Shocked they kept showing it. He also has Rockets 100% on KD being a weed head. When Bro came out not wanting to be Slim Reaper, showed his heart. Warriors were his out, and he passed. Yeah. No comment other than those were some terrible turnovers. Dell, Mind the Gap Radio. Let Nick Whalen know that my basement is available for VSiN live spots. Nick Whalen, our next guest, with a flooded basement. I guess he was showing pictures of this on Twitter last night, he was saying. We hope he's okay. We'll find out momentarily. And Ace Dick Cardano about Wishnev coming up later. He goes, we always reference Todd's intellect. We never talk about how hard he works. 0 days off the entire college basketball season, then right into Major League Baseball. Think about that. No question, Ace. No question about that. And by the way, he's up over 20 units in college hoops now, too. And Danny Burnett, Gil sounds like he's in Tennessee with them sinuses. Oh, dude, you have no idea. Nick Whalen joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line, to discuss not only his basement, but the NBA. How is the basement, Nick? Are you okay?
I'm okay. Everybody survived. No like real personal damage, but it was a rough night on Friday. We had a lot of rain over the last week here in Wisconsin, and when the power goes out, my sump pump stops working, which means that water starts flowing into my basement. So spent most of the weekend ripping all the carpet out, and what our friend Dell is referring to. Yeah, last night I tweeted my just incredible setup right now, which is a lone recliner in a concrete floor basement with like boxes all over the place. One of my TVs is unplugged. Like it's a total mess, but look, the show must go on, guys. We still found a way to watch NBA basketball last night. And I think this is a pretty clear God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers situation. So we'll be back. We'll rally.
Okay. All right. This is a very thorough explanation of your basement. We appreciate that with pumps and everything.
I'm looking at pictures right now, man. I feel bad for you, Nick. That sounds like a hell of a weekend.
All right, Nick, I'm going to ask you a question here. One of these teams, I'm coming to you from the future. One of these teams wins their best of 7 first-round series. One of them. You tell me who it is. Houston comes back from a 2-0 deficit against the Lakers to win their series. Minnesota, knotted up with the Nuggets, beats the Nuggets. Portland, with Wemby in sort of questionable status right now, beats the Spurs. Atlanta beats the Knicks. Toronto comes back from 2-0 to beat the Cavs, and I'll throw the Sixers in there to beat the Celtics, knotted up at 1 apiece. Just basically going with all these teams that were dogs to begin with the exception of the Rockets, who are down 2-0. Who's the team most likely to win their series of those?
I think to me, Houston is still not out of this. That's the first thought. I really liked Houston coming into this series. I liked how they closed the regular season. There were times certainly where I was willing to write this team off, and then I thought they were really fortunate to line up this matchup against the LA Lakers. It is important to remember they still haven't really got a full strength Kevin Durant game. KD was terrible last night, 9 turnovers. I know he got to 23 points in 41 minutes, but that did not look like Kevin Durant. I was surprised when I checked the box score at the end of the game and he got to 23. That was like the least impactful 23 points of all time. Şengün has been a total mess in this series. A lot of his production came late in the game when the Lakers were kind of a little bit more willing to just not foul and give up some baskets. So I think Houston's the team where you could see improvement as this series now moves to their home court. I don't think Luke is coming back. I don't think Reeves is coming back. That door is still open. If you watch these first 2 games for the Lakers, they shot 61% from the field in game 1. It was one of their 3 best shooting games of the entire year. Luke Kennard has been on fire. Marcus Smart hit 5 threes last night. I think it's still fair to wonder, can LeBron play at the level that he did last night over the course of 6 or 7 games, I mean, that looked like 2017, 2018 LeBron James. And you could see it right away. Like he had that play like 2 minutes in where he basically took off from the free throw line and ended up getting fouled on a dunk. Like oftentimes you can tell if LeBron has that energy right away. I don't know that I trust that will be there every single night, and they need it to be. They need LeBron to play at this crazy level just to beat a Houston team that's not playing well so far in this series. So I still think the door is open for the Houston Rockets. I would not write them off. Atlanta, I think, has a chance against the New York Knicks. And obviously the Blazers Spurs series just single-handedly hinges on how many games does Victor Wembanyama miss. If he's only out for game 3 and then he's back, I think the Spurs still win that series maybe in 6. If it's more than that, I mean, that's a toss-up.
I like that you went with the Rockets with all those. Will had texted. I don't know if we did this off air or on air. I can't remember. Will had texted 2 nights ago. He goes, are the Raptors the worst 5 seed in history, or one of the worst 5 seeds in history? So yesterday I texted him. I go, not since the 2026 Raptors have I seen a 5 seed as bad as these Rockets. All right. One of the series that I left out of that little thought exercise was one of the games tonight, the first one tonight between Orlando and Detroit. I did not throw in Orlando as, or can Orlando actually win this series against Detroit? Up 1-0. It's an 8-1, right? A 1-8 seed series in the East. How are you playing game 2 with the Pistons favored by 9 to try to even this up?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Detroit closed, 8.5, I think, for game 1. And then this open 9.5. I'm now seeing 8.5 at DraftKings, some 9s out there, like you said. So, people aren't necessarily backing off of Detroit, but I think we still have to treat them as more vulnerable than your typical 1 seed, right? I think a lot of people had questions about the Pistons all season, even when they cruised to 60 wins. Like this still, it doesn't really feel like your typical 1 seed. And, they had a worst case scenario performance, I thought, in game 1 where the Magic played well, but it wasn't one of those games where Orlando came out and hit like 18 threes and you just felt like, all right, no matter what, Detroit never had a chance to win this game. Like Orlando went 10 of 34 from beyond the arc. Yeah, they shot it well from 2-point range. Banchero and Wagner were really good, but to me, that was more of a concerning performance by Detroit as opposed to Orlando playing at a level that, they just weren't going to be beat. And, there's pressure on the Pistons now to win this game. You can't go down 0-2 heading back to Orlando, knowing that you don't necessarily have the roster of a typical 1 seed. I think if you watch that game on Sunday, if you're a casual NBA fan, you haven't been locked in on Detroit Pistons basketball, you're probably looking around thinking, how the hell did this team win 60 games with seemingly Tobias Harris as the number 2 option? I think the number 1 thing Detroit has to do tonight is find a way to get Jalen Duren more involved. And this is the pitfall of having your number 2 option being a young big man who can't really create his own shot. I mean, he's pretty much entirely reliant on Cade Cunningham and Dennis Jenkins off the bench, setting him up for looks around the rim. And I thought Orlando did a tremendous job of taking him out of the game. Like he can't be outplayed by Wendell Carter in this series. That should go without saying. So I think that's point number 1 for the Detroit Pistons. I do look at this as a potential under spot. 218.5 is our total. Obviously game 1 went under. And look, I think you look at the pace, 98.1 of game 1. That's a little bit faster than I expected. Detroit, I thought, got a little bit frantic late in the game. I don't think they mind slowing things down, turning this into more of a game where they challenge Orlando in the half court. But again, it's going to come down to, can Jalen Duren actually give them contributions? Can he not be a minus 21 in 33 minutes?
So over in Orlando, Detroit, that's the play with the total around 218.5?
No, under, right?
Sorry, under. Did I text the producer over? I meant to say under. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's my bad. Okay, so under. That's why I was clarifying. I was like, what did you mean? Under 218.5.
I'm looking now. You're right.
All right. What about OKC and Phoenix? Where, again, OKC's a 17-point favorite now in game 2. We're showing 16.5 on the board, but we're seeing some 17s out there as well. Yeah. This total is 215.5.
Yeah, and I think I like the under here as well, guys. I don't really see the path for Phoenix playing a whole lot better offensively. It's like you basically need the Thunder to take their foot off the gas, which I guess is theoretically possible. But we saw OKC do the same thing to Memphis in game 1 of round 1 last year, where that game was just over by the end of the first quarter. They won by 30 plus. And then game 2 was also a blowout. It wasn't as extreme. I think they actually won it by 17, which makes tonight's line a little bit more interesting. But Phoenix scored 84 points in game 1. They'll likely do better than that tonight. They shot 35% from the field. They did hit 13 threes on 39 attempts, But with Phoenix, I just wonder, like, where, who do you look to and say, all right, this guy will play better? It's like you got 23 out of Devin Booker, and he's going to be just swarmed by all these great perimeter defenders for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this is a very tough series for Booker to go out and get 35 a night, even if he wanted to. Jalen Green, same thing, played really well in the play-in game. I don't know if you could count on that when he's being hounded by Caruso and Cason Wallace. They just take the defense to a different level in OKC. I don't know that we're going to see Mark Williams tonight. All of a sudden, that means that you're relying really heavily on Oso Ighodaro, who has his moments, but is really a complete zero offensively. He had no points on 3 shots in game 1. So 17.5 is a big enough number that I'm not really willing to approach that. But I do think we see OKC lock down once again defensively. We could see maybe a slight reduction in the 3-point production for the Thunder. They were about average as far as number of made threes in game 1, but they are a team that's not overly high volume.
Thank you,
and we
Nick.
saw that over and over in the playoffs last year.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Nick.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander, Kelly Bidlin in the hizzy. We get tweets beating the book. Brian Schaefer, 31. Gil Alexander looks like Richard Gere and sounds like Harvey Firestein.
Ooh.
With the allergies. You the best, Gil. Yeah, I'll take that, by the way.
I think you'd take Richard Gere, yeah.
I'll take Richard Gere. Johnny Brock. I don't believe that whoever said you sound like you're from Tennessee with your congestion has ever been to Tennessee.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, but okay.
Let's see. A Buddhist man, Nick Whalen, as the hard out sneaks up on him. He's got memes out there about Nick Whalen. Nick Whalen's still talking, by the way.
Oh, man.
Just to clarify, Nick is on both unders tonight, and he didn't get a chance to do this because we were in commercial, I think, when he said this. Hartenstein, Isaiah Hartenstein, let me make sure I get this correct, 3+ assists from Hartenstein tonight. And what's this one from, what's this from Rhodes Knows? He says, let me tell you something, brother. Talk all that slander about WWF last week. I lose all respect. You, Gil, repeated from some chump listener. Ask Wemby if the front face slam is real. Ooh, yeah, sign the Macho Man. Oh, I'm supposed to read that, the Macho Man list?
Yeah, you're supposed to go Macho Man.
Nick Whalen on Twitter said, I deserve this. I deserve all of this. Here's Kelly Bidlin. By the way, here are your first-round series bets. Let's take a heat check on some of your first-round series bets.
Guess what? Game by game has not been great so far.
Knicks -1.5 games against the Hawks. That could still get there. Knicks to win the series 4-1. Well, you got to win 3 in a row for that to happen. Josh Hart to lead the series in rebounds. That's pretty good, right?
Currently leads the series in rebounds.
35-1. Jalen Brunson to lead the series in three-pointers made.
Currently leads the series in three-pointers made.
Get out. Nuggets series. Nuggets to win 4-1. Nuggets to win 4-2. Both possible. Got to go 3 in a row to win the first one, though, at +285.
Yeah. Not feeling as confident in those.
Interestingly, the 4-2 was a longer shot right before the series started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then in the Lakers series, this is a good one. Luke Kennard to lead the series in three-pointers made. He's leading that, right?
Yeah. They got leaders in all 3 of these.
Let's go, Kelly Bidlin.
So series leader props, which I don't know. I always get attracted to in the playoffs, but you get like who was when these popped up, I'm like firing text at JVT and Drew and everybody because unlike Nick Whalen, I'm not betting props daily like he is, right? It's not something I'm doing a ton, but these series leader ones, like the Lakers Rockets one, like Reed Shepherd was like even money to lead the series in threes. Exactly what happened last night. Guy can get played off the court. If he's not there defensively and he's not making shots, he might be on the bench, and that's what we were seeing last night.
And Chris Felica live texting the show. He says Madrid second behind Sevilla when it comes to Spanish cities in Spain. Madrid second to Seville. Nowhere to be found Barcelona. Very overrated, he says in his opinion. Third place, Malaga, which I believe, if I recall, I was once there, was on the southern coast of Spain, Costa del Sol.
We'll have to get the graphic updated.
Yeah. Our Spanish cities rankings.
Yeah.
All right. We started the show by talking about, by the way, do you like that I'm going to go a full hour without talking about the Cincinnati Reds?
That's pretty impressive.
I'm so excited.
Pretty
you have no idea.
impressive.
All right, let's go to the NFL draft here for a second. So we started the show by saying, here we are now. We are 30 hours-ish. 30-plus hours away from first round of the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, PA tomorrow night. It's going to be mayhem in Pittsburgh. We know that Fernando Mendoza is going to the Raiders. If I were to ask anybody else, what do we know about what happens next? I'm not sure anybody could answer that with supreme confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Drew is more confident than most. Drew Dinsick, who was our guest whale capper, who's on every Tuesday with us, he really believes it's Arvell Reese, and the rest is just smoke. We'll see. Again, in the last 24 hours, we've had Todd McShay say that it's going to be David Bailey at 2. And Peter Schrager, this morning, he was talking about how he thinks if the Cardinals stay at 3, he says the Cardinals are open for business for a trade at 3. But if the Cardinals stay at 3, I think this is kind of what Adam Schefter was saying too, they may draft Jeremiah Love at 3. So, pretty interesting. By the way, Schrager's mock draft, his latest mock draft, which just came out. Now I can't call it up on the.
He's got Love 3, Bailey 2.
Who's 2? Bailey.
Love 3.
He's got
and then
Bailey
Sonny
2 also.
Styles 4.
Sonny Styles to the Titans 4. Who's he got 5?
Arvell Reese to 5.
Oh my God! So the whole order of this, I mean, it could be shuffled up.
And then another interesting one at 6, Spencer Fano there at 6, which is just the another...
Spencer Fano at 6.
Yeah,
who does Washington get? Peter Schrager. 7.
Carnell Tate.
Washington is with Carnell Tate.
Yep,
That's who we get?
Yeah, they do. I think it's a good example that we keep seeing this top offensive lineman move, right? Drew made a good case for that, taking a long shot yesterday. I ended up betting that on Caden Proctor just because it's... Yeah,
I bet the Caden Proctor first.
They did, yeah.
First
I think Drew made a good point, right? You got no true left tackles here. All these guys we keep seeing move in and out of who's going to go first. Like, it just takes a team to fall in love with that guy more than the others.
And we forget to make the note here in Nevada that these lines will be pulled off tonight at midnight. Midnight the night before the draft. So if you're in Nevada, get your bets in while you can because it's donezo tomorrow. But as to which team will draft Jeremiah Love, these are available DraftKings. Sorry about the nose, guys. Titans are still the favorite at minus 135. To be picked, ball holds 4th. But the Titans are minus 135. Now, the Cardinals who sit at 3. And again, if you believe Schrager, that if they sit there, or you believe Schefter, that if they sit there, the Cardinals may just take him. Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals, plus 270. Plus 270. Commanders who sit at 7. And the Giants, who sit at 5, are both at plus 425. And that has always been sort of the whole story with this draft was he's going to the Titans 4. If not, he's going to the Giants 5. If not, he's going to the Commanders at 7. Despite the Commanders acquiring 2 free agent running backs, Rashad White, Jerome Ford. It's only now recently that we're hearing about this Cardinals at 3 stuff.
Yep.
If you had to make a bet here, what would you do? Who do you believe?
It would still be Titans for me, Gil, but like this is I would still think all these teams are going to be actively, or at least Titans and Cardinals are going to be actively trying to trade out of these spots. Doesn't sound like that's as much true with the Titans as it is with the Cardinals. This was one I got close to making a bet like this. Where I was going to go, though, was 4th overall instead of the Titans in case there is a trade, which was the same exact odds. So that's how I would bet it. Still think that is most likely, although these odds have come down a little bit. Titans now minus 105 here this morning. Cardinals 2-1. Now that we've seen Love mocked a couple times to the Cardinals.
It's all about the mocks. That's why it's moving.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's moving just a little bit here. So I think I would still lean Titans. Just from everything we've heard, sounds like they're most likely. But yeah, the Cardinals feel like they need to go get best player available or make a move.
Also, we're betting on the draft, but for 1 second, can we just remove our brains from our bets and just talk about it from a football perspective? What in the world? Like, again, it's the Jeremiah Love on the Titans, Jeremiah Love on the Cardinals just becomes lost. Like, what? Great. You guys got Jeremiah Love. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't get
That's what you guys needed was a running back? Now, if you put him on the Washington.
No, I hear you.
If you put him on the D.C. Skins, let me just say something to you right now. Jaden Daniels, a healthy Jaden Daniels, doing what he do with Jeremiah Love behind him and the incomparable one, Terry McLaurin on the outside. God help all of you. Oh, it's getting exciting.
Man, I'll say the same thing about the New York Giants.
Yeah, and the Giants, I mean, Scatabo and Jeremiah Love in your backfield.
It's a hell of a backfield. You got your quarterback. You got neighbors out wide. Man. That's becoming. I'm with you. Like, my football brain still can't comprehend.
We said it with Genty last year with the Raiders. We're like, is he a luxury pick? That's what you guys are doing.
And it's not even so much. I mean, yes, it is that, but it's how long the life of a running back is. It's like maybe your team's good enough for him to make a solid impact 3 years from now. You're already 3 years into a running back's career.
How about these real quick? Ty Simpson. Which team will draft Ty Simpson? Cardinals have always sort of been the buzz team in all these mocks at minus 200, but I don't know.
But minus 200?
No, it's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous price. Jets have at 24 has always been a thing in mocks, plus 280. And then if you believe the Bear Felica's theory, maybe the Rams at plus 550 manipulate the draft to by trade or maybe by just chilling. That they end up with Ty Simpson, who could then sort of work under Matthew Stafford for a year or two.
Well, now
plus 550.
I'll go next team down. Steelers 14-1. Or do we have any idea what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, he's not ready to tell you.
Exactly. And could this all of a sudden over the next 24 hours become so much of an urgent issue that they make an impulse buy on a Ty Simpson? I think that's a possibility.
As we sit here on April 22nd, Will Howard is QB1 with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we got one more of these, I believe. Yeah. Which team will draft Kenyon Sadiq? Panthers are the short shot at plus 310. I think I've seen the Bucks mocked most with Sadiq at 15 at plus 350. Danny Higgins would love to see him go to the Ravens at 14 at plus 425. And then you see everybody else. I have no sense of this with Sadiq. None.
Hey, I think there's a few teams that we could get home with our under 14.5 bet. But, yeah, there's a lot in play. I'm really hoping it is the Baltimore Ravens.
No relation to Raphael Sadiq, for those who asked. By the way, this just did. Nobody asked. Raphael